Hey there, I'm Tim Mackey from the Bible Project, and today's verse of the day is from Paul's letter to the Galatians, chapter 4, verses 4 through 5, which read, "But when the fullness of time came, God sent forth his Son, born of a woman, born under the law, so that he might redeem those who were under the law, so that we might receive the adoption as sons." Paul is compacting almost the entire story of the Bible down into just a couple sentences, and right at the center of it is the birth of Jesus from Mary. But he wants to locate that moment of Jesus' birth in the bigger storyline of the Bible. That's what he means by "in the fullness of time came." Jesus comes as the fulfillment of God's long promise to raise up a new kind of human image of God who will actually be a faithful human that we're all made to be, but have failed to be. And when he talks about redeeming those who are under the law, he's talking about Jesus' own Israelite people. In the story of the Old Testament, God called Israel into existence to become a vehicle of his blessing to all of the nations. And to do that, they needed to live by God's laws and his covenant commandments. And if you've read the Old Testament, you know they failed to do that like ever. And so they ended up becoming cursed by the law or falling under God's judgment, even though those commands are like righteous and holy as good, as Paul says elsewhere. And notice here at the end, it's really cool. He says he both came to redeem those who were under the law, that is his own Israelite people, but then also so that we might receive adoption as sons. That "we" is referring to all the nations of the world who are not Israelites, but we are images of God, and God wants to adopt all of us into his family. This story is really like the biggest story that you could imagine that gives meaning to our lives, but also to why we celebrate the birth of Jesus every year.